श्रीमान वेंकटनाथार्य कवितार्किक केसरी वेदांताचार्य वर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदाहृति श्रीवासरंग परकाल मुनित्रयाप्त लक्ष्मात्मरक्षण दिद्युगागमान्तम् आचार्य भक्ति परिपूतमनर्गशीलं गोपाल देशिकमुनिं गुरुमाश्रयामः व्यासं वसिष्ठनप्तारं शक्ते पौत्रमकल्मषं पराशरात्मजं वन्दे सुखतातं तपोनिधिं व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः. So Vishnu Sahasranama is the panacea for all diseases, as I was telling during the recitation. He is Beshajam Bishat. He is the medicine as well as he is the doctor. Maruttuvanaay nindra Mamani Vanna. Periyalvar says, Eruttukkodiyudayanum Piramanum Indiranum Matrum Urutharum Ippiravi Noykku Marundarivarum illai. ஒருத்தரும் இப்பிறவி நோய்க்கு மருந்து அறிவாரும் இல்லை. Nobody knows the medicine for this karmic disease, the disease of birth and death again and again. Nobody knows. மருத்துவனான் என்ற மாமணி வண்ணா. Not only he knows the medicine, he himself is a doctor. So he can diagnose and he will get us rid of all our diseases, whether it is small one or the biggest one, which is the life of birth and death. So Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, everything will go on. Now Sloka 80. Sloka 90 today. Anar Brihat Krisha Stulo Gunabhr Nirguno Mahan Adrita Swadrita Swasya Pragvam Shovam Shavardhanaha. It's a beautiful sloka. It talks about the glory, the Vaibhavam, the Mahima of the Lord, Supreme Lord Sriman Narayana, the Mahavishnu. Anuhu, he who has the power of being smaller than the smallest. Anu is the smallest atom. He is smaller than the smallest. Brihat is grander than the greatest. Greater than the greatest. Brihat. Anur Brihat Krisha. Krisha, he who is lighter than the light and is thinner than anything which is thin. Stulaha, he who is humongous, immense, huge. Stula. Gunabhrit, he who supports the entire thing. He who supports the three gunas, Sattvam, Rajas, Tamas. Nirgunaha, he who is bereft of gunams, the common qualities, and has special flavors. Mahan, he who is the supreme in everything. Adritaha, he who is unconstrained. Adrita Swadritaha, he who is self-sustained and superior most superior, supreme. Swasyaha, he who has a glorious status and is superior over the Muktatmas and Nityasuris. Pragvamshaha, he who is the cause of eternally free souls, Nityasuri. Even for Ananta, Garuda, Vishwaksena, he is the cause. Vamshavardhanaha, he who keeps the progeny growing. His progeny growing. That's the one-liner. If you want to learn the meanings, individual, it's such a beautiful sloka. When I was going through the Vyakyanam, the commentaries, I was overwhelmed with the Anubhavams of the Acharyas. Anur Brihat Krisa Stulo Gunabhr Nirguno Mahan Adrita Swadrita Swasya Pragvamsho Vamshavardhanaha. So, the next few namams are interpreted by Sri Parasara Bhatta in terms of the grandeur of Bhagavan, consisting of his superhuman powers, such as becoming smaller than the smallest, which is the atomic particle. We know that the atom is smallest, which has got proton, electron, neutron, and he is smaller than the smallest, and he is grander than the grandest. They say that these powers are being described as the Ashta Aishwaryams, the might, the power. What are the Ashta Aishwaryam? Anima, Mahima, Laghima, Garima, Praptihi, Prakamyam, Ishita, Vashitvam, Chaitaishwarya Ashtakam Uchyate. Chaite Aishwarya Ashtakam Uchyate. So these are the eight powers when people get during the Ashtasiddhi. So here Anuhu, he who has the power of being smaller than the smallest. The smallest that is known to us is the atomic particle. He is smaller than that. He who is the cause of the sound that permeates everywhere and is everything. Anaha means Shabdam. He who is in the form of the Vedas, because Shabdam is Vedas. Shabda Pramanam is Veda. Veda is heard only. Shruti, that is why it is called Shruti. So, this is the first of the Ashta Aishwarya, Anima. So, Parasara Bhatta says this Nama signifies his ability to enter into the infinitesimally small void space known as Dahara Akasham. In every, just imagine, our heart is as much size as our fist. If you hold your fist like this, and whatever the size of the fist, our heart is of that size. And in that heart there is a lot of vessels, blood vessels going, but there is a little space inside, which is as small as a thumb. Very little space called Akasham. Akasham is a space. In that space, the Perumal, Supreme Lord, manifests, brings down himself, stoops down himself and takes the form of a small Lord and resides in the Bhakta, inside the heart cavity, in a Sukshma form, in a fine form. So, he comes inside and in a small void space, it is called Dahara Akasham, in the heart of beings, into Prakriti and also into the subtle Jivatma. So he is extremely subtle. Taittiriya Upanishad says, Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. He is subtler than the subtlest and grander than the grandest. So, when we say he manifests inside and outside of everything and everyone as Antaryami, as the indweller, he is inside everything and everyone in a fine form. But he shows himself in a rupam, in a form, as much as a small thumb, and resides in the cavity of the Bhakti Yogis, in the devotees. It's called Antaryami Rupam, Antaryami Avataram. Being Antaryami, being the indweller, is in everything and everyone. That goes without saying. However, he takes a form for the Bhakti Yogi to meditate, and he resides inside the cavity of the heart. Periyalvar says, Panikkadalil Palligolai Palagavittu Odi Vandu en Manakkadalil Vaazhavalla Maya Manala Nambi Tanikadale Tanichudale Tanivulage Endrendru Unakkidamaayirukka Ennai Urithakkinaye. What a grace, shower of daya you have. You left that milky ocean, you left that Sri Vaikuntham, and you came running in and to stay inside my heart, which is full of blood, which is skeleton, dirty, and you showered your grace and resided in my heart. So this is Anoraniya, Anuhu. Shankaracharya says from Mundaka Upanishad, Isha Anu Atma Chetasa Veditavyaha. This self, Paramatma, is inscrutable and is known to be known only through the mind. So Anoraniya. The truth is very subtle. The Supreme is very subtle and is not easily comprehensible. Sri Chenmayananda quotes from Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya Chaham Hriti Sannivishtaha. I am seated in the heart of all who is devotee. I am seated in that heart. So Anuhu. Then we have Brihat. Brihat is great. This Nama describes his Aishwarya of being called Mahima. Anima, Mahima, great, Brihat, big, grander than the grandest. So here Shankaracharya's Vyakhyanam is because of the hugeness, because of the ability to expand, because of his will, Sankalpam, indefinitely, he is called Brihat. Even the Brahman, Brihati iti Brahman, the one who is becoming grand is Brahman. The one who makes his devotees become grand is also Brahman. So Sri Chinmayananda says these two may seem paradoxical, which is Anuhu and Brihat, smaller than the smallest and grander than the grandest. That means the Upanishad talks of these qualities, Anoraniyam Bhato Mahiyam, subtler than the subtle and greater than the great, is lodged in the cave of the heart. Kathopanishad also mentions this. So then we have Grishaha, he who is lighter than the light, he who is thinner than the thin, he who reduces or eliminates the difficulties of his bhaktas, he who comes and pares down the Jivatma to make it possible for them to live in comfort, he who makes the light work, he who makes the asuras, he who destroys the asuras, Grishaha. Parasara Bhatta says he is lighter than the cotton, the wind. So his movement is completely unimpeded. There is no resistance on all sides, in all aspects. Sarvatra avyahatagati. So, yatra kama gato vashi. He who can go anywhere, he chooses. So, Grishaha. Here, Sri Shankaracharya's Vyakhyanam is, he becomes so thin that he is devoid of visibility. He cannot be comprehended or seen with the tools that we possess. Bhagavan is one who is thinner than the thinnest. Grishaha. Bhagavan is described, we saw that he is described as Anu. In the next, he is exactly the opposite, the Brihat, the grand. In the current Nama, we see him described as Aksharaha. So, Anu Brihat Krisha Stulo. Here, then we have Krishaha Stulaha. Stulo, he who is immense, humongous, he grows, he enhances enormously the wealth of his devotees. So Stui means to become big. That is the root. Parasara Bhatta says Bhagavan has the ability to touch any object in any world, even while standing in one place. He is so big and he is everywhere. He can touch anyone, anywhere, any object in any place. He can see anyone without us seeing him. He can hear us, but we cannot hear him. He knows exactly what's running in my mind, in our minds, but we don't know his Trivullam. He has the name Stula. Even in the Trivikrama incarnation, Nammalvar says, Tal Parappi Mantaviya Ishan. Tal Parappi. When he measured the universe, just his feet became big and he measured the entire world. Then he touched the upper lokam. So, Andal says, Vongi Ulagalanda Uttama. He took the huge form. He took the huge Varaha Avatara. And his universe, the entire Bhumi, the universe, the Prapancham, became a small, like a dust particle on his horn. So, Stulaha. And then here we have Gunabhrit. He is the supporter of all that are subject to him, that are his property. He is the supporter. There is a Upanishad called Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, in which there is a woman, there is a rishi, a lady by name Gargi. This Gargi, those days, the women also, we were the ones, even in our Sanatana Dharma, women had also the same intellect, jnanam and revelation, just like the male rishis. The rishi patnis were equally jnanis. Kaushalya was a jnani. So this Gargi Maharishi asked a sage Yajnavalkya. Yajnavalkya was a guru of Janaka Maharaja. Such was his power, Shakti of Yajnavalkya. So the Upanishad generally is a question and answer, thereby we get to know the truth. Sanatana Dharma is the only one which enables you to ask questions and it answers. There is no question is silly. If you want to learn, you can ask any question and there is an answer in Sanatana Dharma. Here, the Gargi asked Yajnavalkya, there is sun, there is moon, there is earth, there are planets, there are stars. How are they not falling? How are they standing where they are? What is the power that stands, that makes them be where it is? They are revolving, they are rotating, they are doing all that, but still not hitting against each other. What is it? Yajnavalkya gives in the Upanishadic statement that it is Bhagavan's sankalpam. It is Bhagavan's will. Even though he is manifested in everything and everyone, he just takes a sankalpam that they let them be where they are. Let them revolve around there. Let the moon revolve around the sun, around the earth. Let the earth revolve around the sun. Let the planets revolve around the sun. And there are very many galaxies and universe and prapanchams like this. So he is the supporter with his sankalpa. He also bears the infinite kalyana gunams. Supports. He bears. He has infinite kalyana gunams. He has so many gunams, attributes. Jnanam, Balam, Aishwaryam, Viryam, Shakti, Tejas. These 6 gunas define the name Bhagavan. He has Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. Upanishad says he is Satyam, truth. Jnanam, knowledge. Anantam, infinite. Brahman. He also is Anandam, perfect Anandam, bliss. He is the personification of Anandam. He is Amalan, Amalatvam. He is completely devoid of any defects, any dosham, any imperfection. There is no imperfection in him. So Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Anandam, Amalatvam is his Swarupa attributes, his natural attribute. And Jnana, Bala, Aishwarya, Virya, Shakti, Tejas is the definition of Bhagavan. In addition, he has very many. Shaulabhyam, Shaushilyam, Vatsalyam, Mardavam, Arjavam, Sauhardam, Samyam, Karunyam, Madhuryam, Gambhiryam, Audaryam, Chaturyam, Sthiryam, Dhairyam, Shauryam, Parakramam, Satyakamam, Satyashankalpam, Krititvam, Kritanyata, Asankheya Kalyana Gunaganoga Maharnama. He is the ocean of infinite Kalyana Gunams. He has got Shaulabhyam, Shaushilyam. He is so easily accessible. He comes down to us like a cowherd boy, like a Manushyan, like a Vamana, Brahmachari, Nrisimha, Varaha. He has got such a Vatsalyam on us. So, he who bears infinite Kalyana Gunams are Gunabhrit. See, Parasara Bhattacharya expands this, saying that everything is subject to the 3 gunas. He is the one who supports the 3 gunas. Sattvam, Rajas, Tamas. Bhagavan's supreme power of ruling over all by making these 3 gunas in all their substates subject to him, supporting them. By his mere Shankalpam, he supports all of the planets, all the sun and the moon. So that is why it's called Gunabrit. This Nama is an expression of his Aishwarya, the power of his Ishitvam, the Lordship, Supreme Lordship. Sarvasya Vashi, Sarvasya Ishanaha. Taittiriya Upanishad says, he keeps all under control and rules over them all. Shri Shankaracharya's Vyakhyanam is, he supports the gunas, Sattvam, Rajas, Tamas to various degrees in all different beings, Atmas, as a part of his functions of creation, preservation, destruction. Based on our karma vasana, he gives a proportion of Sattva, Rajas, Tamas guna. Because now we have Sattva guna, we are able to attend to this Zoom session, listen to Vishnu Sahasranama meanings in spite of myself talking, recite this Vishnu Sahasranama and get little bit of Sattva gunam is in the ascension. When the Rajo gunam comes, we jump with joy, we watch, we want to taste the good food or ice cream or enjoy music, watch Netflix. So these are all Rajo gunam. Tamasa gunam, we feel lazy, lethargic, want to sleep, tired, sleepy state, dozing off. So that is Tamasa gunam. So depending how we can get more of Sattva gunam, less of Tamasa gunam, little bit Rajo gunam, how we can, until we live in this world, we will be bound, influenced by these three gunas. So how to increase the Sattva gunam? If anybody knows, tell me also. But the Acharyas say that by the food affects the gunams. You take the guna, the food that is offered to Perumal, which is cooked with devotion, by thinking of the Lord, not with anger on the husband or anger on the wife. The husband cooks or get from Grab food or Uber food or Zomato, and we don't know how the cook, how it is brought. So you take whatever that is Rajasic food. All this food will affect our thoughts, our actions, our life. So what you eat, so you become. So offering the food to Bhagavan, taking that as prasadam, consuming the food as the offering of that prasadam to the Antaryami, the indweller inside your heart. Because even the Vaidikas, the elders say, when one Vaidika or one elder devotee meets another one, they used to ask, Antaryami ka acha, is the Antaryami fed? That means, have you eaten? They always ask, Antaryami ki acha, means have you offered to your Antaryami? That means, have you eaten? Number Saktaja. So that's the way they used to think, that whatever that is consumed is for the Antaryami. When you consume to the Antaryami, the Lord inside, you would not give him something which is wrong. So that would influence the gunas. Next we have Nirgunaha, he who is bereft of gunas, which is, first I said gunas, he has so many gunas, infinite gunas. Now we say he is bereft of gunas. That means he does not have wrong gunas. Parasara Bhatta's interpretation is, even though he is in contact with all, he manifests inside and outside of everything and everyone. So he says, Antarbahiccha tatsarva vyapya narayana stitaha, inside and outside of everything and everyone. Drishyate, we can see him, we can see that he is inside and outside of everything, because whenever we see a beauty, he is there. But he is not tainted by their defects. When he is inside my Jivatma, he is not subject to any defect which is attributable to me. He is above all of them. So when a Shishya asked Guru that how is it possible? He is inside me, he is inside everyone and everything, but he is not affected by that. How is it possible? I am unable to understand. The next day the Guru Patni made some kesari, some halwa, So when Rava Kesari, and that sweet was so delicious with ghee dropping, so ghee dripping from the fingers. So the student, the shishyas relished by licking the fingers. It was so tasty. Then they went and applied some powder in order to get rid of the ghee stain from their palms, the grease from their palms. So the hands were cleaned properly, the mouth was rinsed with water. They came back. The Guru asked, how was the sweet? Excellent, delicious. Our thanks to Guru Patni, to Mata. Then he asked, did you wash your hands? Yes. Did you apply soap or whatever powder to get rid of the ghee? Yes, we did. Otherwise it would not go. The palms were stuck with ghee. Okay, did you apply soap inside the tongue, mouth? No. Why? The mouth does not get affected because that goes inside. It's above this. He said, when the hand gets hit by the ghee, the tongue does not. For small tongue itself is not affected. How the Supreme can be affected? He is beyond all these things. So that is how he tried to explain. Shankaracharya's interpretation is he who is devoid of gunas. Because Shankaracharya gives support from the Upanishad, he who is not tainted by the three gunas, means he is above the sattva, rajas, tamas gunas. He is full of Suddha Sattva, full of transcendental form. So he does not have defects. Mahan, next is, he is supreme in everything. He who is great beyond comprehension. We cannot fathom it. If we are able to imagine from the tools that we possess, that means he is finite. If he who is worthy of worship, who is beyond fathom, beyond comprehension, beyond understanding, even by the likes of Indra, Brahma, he cannot be understood. But the one who says that even though I have learnt Shrutis, I have attended my Acharyas, Kalakshepams, teachings, I have not understood him. If somebody says we cannot understand Perumal, that means he has understood. That he cannot understand. If somebody says I have learnt, I know everything about the Lord, that means he has not understood. So avijñātam vijānatam, vijñātam avijānatam, they say. He is the powerful Lord, Parasara Bhattar says. He acts as he chooses to act. He unites and separates things as he likes. Whatever he chooses to do, he can accomplish it without any effort. Sri Shankaracharya says, Mahan, in terms of the impossibility of controlling him, restraining him, constraining him to a description, even for the sake of discussion. Suppose I say he is like a lotus flower. We are only trying to compare with what we know. So he cannot be compared with anything. He can accomplish anything without any support. Then we have Adritaha, the one who is unconstrained, one who is unsustained. So Parasara Bhattar gives the previous nama as a reference to Bhagavan's superior power to achieve anything without any effort. He explains this nama, which is Adritaha, as a reference to his being totally unobstructed, unconstrained in his ability to achieve anything he wants. The two namas together mean he who has the power to achieve anything he wants without any constraint or limitation. He gives the example of Bhagavan first giving Paramapadam to the sons of the Vaidika Brahmin and then bringing back to this world and giving them rebirth because of his will, Sankalpam, to bring them back to the earth. Even though normally one who goes to Paramapadam is never born. But he brought, the Vaidika Brahmin had the son in Paramapadam. He brought them back because he requested. Sri Shankaracharya's interpretation is Bhagavan is the supporter of everything else that exists. Why he himself is not supported by anything else. Very simple. He supports everything else other than him, but he is not supported by anything. Then we have Swadritaha, Swasyaha, Pragvamshaha, Vamshavardhanaha. So here we are talking about Swadritaha. Swadrita, Sarvadritaha. So here Swadritaha, Swasyaha. So here let me just read out. He is supported by his own greatness. Swadritaha, Parasara Bhatta says, he may have he has the Ashta Ishwaryam. He is superior over the Muktas, he is superior over the Nitya Suris, and he is supported by his own greatness, says Shankaracharya. His power is natural to him, says Parasara Bhatta. He is not dependent on anything. The quality of his distinguishes him from the Baddhatmas, the bounded souls like us, and the Muktatma, the ones who go to Sri Vaikuntha. His greatness is not derived from anything as doing yoga or tapas or continued worship like the rishis, like us, to reach that state. Bhagavad Gita says in 7th chapter 21st Slokam, Yo yo yam yam tanum bhaktaha shraddhayarchitum ichchati tasya tasya chalam shraddham tameva vidadhamyaham. Whatever form a devotee seeks to worship, whatever devata you have in your mind to worship, with faith, with unflinching, unconditional faith on the devata, I firm that faith, I reinforce that faith of such a devotee in that form. So he is the only one and supreme deity who is peerless. Eko havai Narayana asit. So Swasyaha. Swasyaha means he who has a beautiful lotus-like face, lotus-like Tirumukam. He has a glowing face from which the Vedas originated, Shankaracharya mentions. Parasara Bhatta says he is glorious. Paramatma, Bhagavan, is always pure. He is superior. Unlike the Muktatmas, the elevated souls who go to Sri Vaikuntham, because they were in Samsara Bandham earlier. After they attain Mukti, they go to Sri Vaikuntham. So he is always pure. Bhagavan is always superior. Pragvamshaha. Pragvamshaha Vamshavardhanaha. His dynasty, the universe he created, is the most ancient, Shankaracharya says. The sun dynasty, the moon dynasty, the Chaturvamsha, the Yaduvamsham, all after the cosmos came into being. So he makes them become. Bahusyam prajayayeti, he who became many. Parasara Bhatta says he is the basis for the Nitya Suris. Ananta, Garuda, Vishwaksena, Adisheshan, all these Nitya Suris are all there forever, eternally in Sri Vaikuntha. But they are also, because of the Sankalpa, because of Perumal's will, they are who they are, not because of anything else. So then we have Vamshavardhanaha. He who lets the Vamsham grow up. For example, Vamsha, Acharya Vamsha, even the Guru lineage, he brings forth for the Jivatmas to get saved. In fact, when Ilayalvar, Ramanujacharya, was learning from a guru called Yadava Prakasha, he was about 16-17 years old. He used to argue with his guru, because when the guru interprets the Upanishad statement in some way, he was not comfortable. He said that will contradict and violate another Upanishad Vakya. It doesn't seem right, Swami. Please forgive me. And he used to point out. So he was popular in Kanchipuram because of his effulgence, because of his tejas, because of his scholarship, knowledge. And there was another devotee, a Vaishya, and even though he was a Vaishya Kulam, he was a great devotee of Kanchipuram Varadarajan called Tirukkachi Nambi. He used to do the fan kainkaryam for Varadaraja, and he used to even talk to Varadarajan and Perindevi Thaiyar. He had the privilege. So Tirukkachi Nambi and Ramanuja were thick friends. Even though Tirukachinambi was older, means Ramanuja used to respect him because of his devotion, intense bhakti. So Tirukachinambi knew that Ramanuja was under Yadava Prakasha as the Acharya, Guru. So when Alavandar came to Kanchipuram from Srirangam, he inquired his Shishya Tirukachinambi, what is anything special in Kanchipuram, any Vishayam, any news? So he said there is a small teenage boy. He's a Tejasvi. He's tall, lean, lanky, fair complexion, beautiful, Tejasvi. He is scholar. He has learnt Vedanta, and he has given good interpretation of Upanishad. He is very well known in the local neighborhood. So he says, I want to see him, such a Tejasvi boy. And then they went to, anyway, let's go to the temple first. They went to the temple, the Varadaraja temple, and Karivaradan. And there when he was at the Sannidhi, the Yadava Prakasha with the Shishya Goshti, about lot of Shishyas came into the temple. Immediately Tirukachinambi pointed to Alavandar, Yamunacharya, that the Yadava Prakasha is coming. So immediately he asked Alavandar, where is Ramanuja? So he said, see in the third row, middle, the tall 6-footer, fair complexion, Tejasvi, he is the one. So when Alavandar saw him, he was so overwhelmed with the effulgence of the splendor of the Ramanuja. He said, he blessed him from a distance, Am Mudalvan Yevan. From Nammalvar's Pasuram, there is a line, Am Mudalvan Yevan, and he quoted that line here. He is going to be the chief of our Vaishnava Kula. And he prayed to Kanchipuram Varadarajan, Yasya Prasada Kalaya Patirasrunoti Panku Pradhavati Javena Bhakti Mukaha Anta Prapashyati Sutam Labate Chavantya Tam Devameva Varadam Sharanam Gatosmi. Because of Perarulalan, the Varadarajan's showering grace, daya, vatsalyam on the beings, on the jivatmas, even the deaf can hear, the lame can start running, the mute can begin to talk, the blind can see, can get to see. There are stories which I will tell some other time. Varadaraja made the blind see, and even the barren woman can have child. So such most benefactor, the Vallal, I surrender to him to bless me with this boy for our Sri Vaishnava lineage. And that is why we have this Nama, which is the most beautiful Nama, that he brings the Vamshavardhanaha. He expands the Vamsham, the Acharya Vamsham, for us to be benefited. That is why he is Vamshavardhanaha. Adiyan, Dhanyosmi. Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha.